just want to say that when I was in my 20s, it's almost like walking in the dark, and you know that there's a light somewhere around, and you know that when you were growing up, like your parents gave you the foundation of this and this and this and this. But then after you turn your 20s, it's almost like you had the free reign to run and do what you want. And so you know what your parents has taught you, and then you know who you are. And then at the sense, you still know what that other part of you wants to do as well. So you're always trying to find that light bulb. You're always trying to find that bulb that's going to take you, and even through your 20s, you know, you may act a fool, you may do things that may be contradictive, but in your heart, you know better.
Okay.
So I think that in your 20s, I think that that's like a treasure hunt with finding the higher self of you. I think that all that is needed in order to get to your 30s, in order to balance you off on who you're really going to be. I think that all that's necessary.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you believe that people should regret, I'll say people because I don't want to throw you under the bus, do you believe that people should regret mistakes or missteps that they made in their 20s?
The only way that I think that you should regret what you did in your 20s is if you never, ever learn or grow. If you never get past that stage and you never grow and you never learn about what happened in your 20s and what you learned from it and where that's taking you and where you're supposed to go because of that and what your new mission is that came from the past to the present to where you're going to go, then I think that you should have a lot of regrets.
One last question and I'll let you go. Why am I the only brother in the room with five fine ladies? Brothers, y'all got to come out to this. Thank you, Wild Orchid.
You're welcome.
He says he digs my poetry, reads it straight off the page, memorizes every line and every pause that I make. He says he's digging my poetry so deep it's like a grave. Says he reads my poems so he can hear my voice in his head. Reads them at night so he can imagine me in his bed. Right before he goes to sleep so he can see me in his dreams. He says he digs my poetry. Closes his eyes so he can flow with me, and though I'm the closest he's ever been to heaven, he still prays for the Lord to lower me so that he never falls prey to idolatry. He says he digs my poetry. And when he reads my words, he can feel my heartbeat through the page. He says, the gift is in my blood because the ink runs through my veins. He says he digs my poetry. And guess what else he's digging? Me.
Aww, I like that.